Hey guys, today we're going to work on equivalent fractions. So what I need you to do is look at 5th grade K.4 Equivalent Fractions. Here on the screen we have which fractions are equivalent to 6/10. Hint, there may be more than one, so we are going to have options of different fractions it could be. That means we're going to have to check each and every option. So I'm going to start with my initial fraction that it gives me, which is 6/10. Okay, now I'm going to look at 1/2. I'm going to write equals 1/2. To be equivalent or equal, you have to be able to do the same thing to the top as you do to the bottom. We are looking at multiplication and division only. All right, so 6 to become a 1, what would I need to do? I would divide by 6 because it's getting smaller. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So if I do it to the top, I have to do it to the bottom. So 10 divided by 6, does that equal 2? No. So these are not equal. So we know the first one doesn't work. Now we're going to do 6/10 and 3/5. How do I get a 6 to become a 3? I can divide by 2. If I do it to the top, I have to be able to do it to the bottom. 10 divided by 2, does that equal 5? It does, so that one does work. Oops, I clicked the wrong button. Okay, now I'm still going to be using this number. I have 6/10, and I want to see if it equals 7/10. Well, you can just look at that. You know that they're both 10 on the bottom, and 6/10 is not going to be equal to 7/10, because here I'm just dividing or multiplying by 1, and that's not going to work up here. So that does not equal. Okay, our next one, we have 6/10 again. We want to see if it equals 2/3. Okay, I've been going this way, so how do I get a 6 to become a 2? I divide by 3. If I do it to the top, I have to do it to the bottom. 10 divided by 3, does that equal 3? No, that does not equal. So here I only had one answer, and that was 3/5. Okay, now we're going to do it all again. You should be able to get where you can do some of these in your head, and that's fine. But I'm going to show them to you, just in case you're not sure how to do them yet. Okay, we have 2/3, and we want to see if it equals 10/11. Okay, so 2 to become a 5, 2 to become a 10, you multiply by 5. If I do it to the top, I have to do it to the bottom. 3 times 5, does that equal 11? No. So that one does not work. Okay, so I'm going to do 2/3 and 6/9. Now you can do from the bottom first if you want, so let's just do that for now. 3 to become a 9, you multiply by 3. If I do it to the bottom, I have to do it to the top. Is 2 times 3 6? Absolutely. So this one works. Okay, so now I have 2/3 equals 3/5. Do those equal each other? Can you do anything to get a 2 to become a 3? Or a 3 to become a 5? No. Now, there is another way to check it, but we're not going to worry about that today. Okay, we have one more. I bet you can just look at this one and know if we have 2/3 equals 4/6. To get a 2 to become a 4, you're going to multiply by 2, and then a 3 to become a 6, you multiply by 2. So you did the same thing to the top and the bottom. That works. Oops. Okay, so we have 2/10 equals 1/5. I'm going to show you this one 2 different ways. So I can go this way. So a 2 to become a 1, I am going to get the right marker here. I'm going to divide by 2. And then 10 divided by 2 is also 5, so that works out. Now, what I could have done is thought of it in the other direction. Put a squiggle here. So I'm going to go this way. What do I do to get a 1 to become a 2? I multiply by 2. And then the same is true. Oh, I messed up. I'm so sorry. This should be a 10. Okay, so 1 times 2 is 2. 5 times 2 is 10. So I can go backwards. So that's just showing this same problem again. All right, now we have 2/10 equals 3/6. Okay, 2 times nothing gives me 3. And then 10 times nothing is 6, or divided by nothing is going to be 6. No whole numbers. So that one's not going to work. Okay, so then we're going to try 2/10. Oops. And 4/11. Well, on the top here, I'm going to multiply by what? 2. And if I multiply by 2 on the bottom, would that work? Is 10 times 2 11? No. Okay, so I'm going to try the last one. 2/10 equals 2/12. Is that going to work? 2 times 1 is 2. But 10 times 1, that's not 12. Okay, so my one answer is all. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and skip a level. Okay, we're doing the same thing. The numbers are just getting bigger. go on up to the next level. Here's where it's a little bit different. So let me get my marker out. So I have 1/2. I'm going to figure out how did I get 1/2 to become 4 over blank. So how did I get 1 to become a 4? I multiplied by 4. So if I do it to the top, I do it to the bottom. 2 times 4 is 8. So my answer is going to be 8. Similar problem. 1/5 equals 3 over blank. So I have 1 to 3. It's getting bigger, so I'm going to multiply by 3. So if I do that to the bottom, 5 times 3 is 15. See if I can skip a level. Alright, so we have bigger numbers. 16/25 equals 32 over blank. Well, you could do 32 divided by 16 if you're not sure and see what you get, but you might know that 16 times 2 is 32. So 25 times 2, think of quarters, is 50. So my answer is 50. Alright, this one, I am going to be working backwards a little bit. So, how do I, since the blank is over here, I want to go this direction. So, how do I go from 48 to 8? 48 divided by what is 8? 48 divided by 6. So 36 divided by 6, because we have to do the same thing on the top, is 6. Alright, I think we have time for one more. Alright, we have 18 over 48 equals 6 over blank. So my blank is on the side, so I want to go that direction. How do I get an 18 to become a 6? I divide by 3. So if I do it to the top, I do it to the bottom. 48 divided by 3, you may need to calculate that over to the side. So 48 divided by 3 will be 16. Alright, I hope that helps. If you need any more examples, please let me know. Have a good week. Bye.